Today, what we're going to discuss, all right, something we have taken for granted most of our lives. That is getting up out of a chair. As we age, some of us may find that that has become a little bit harder to do, right? And depending on the chair, it can be impossible. So right off the bat, let's discuss leverage, okay? Straight to the point. Many times, not in all cases, leg strength is gold. We're going to come to that. You need your leg strength most importantly. But in a lot of cases, guys, it's all about leverage, okay? And what I mean by that is when we're sitting down, if we have arms, great. If we don't, I'm going to show you how to get around that. You want to scoot to about the middle of the chair, okay? Key part here, nose needs to get forward over your toes. That means my feet cannot be way out in front of me. I need to pull them in close to the chair, okay? My legs are going to be chair leg width apart. Can you see that online? Chair leg width apart. I'm going to lean forward almost as though I'm going to fall out of my chair, all right? We don't want to do that, but what that's going to do is that's going to change the leverage, right? It's really hard to sit up tall and stand up. You see how I went backwards? So what I need to do is change my center of mass and my leverage, lean forward, get my nose over my toes. Now I have access here. The weight is on my heels. I have access to the hamstrings and the glutes, and I'm going to use my hands. If you don't have arms on the chair, use your hands on your knees, nose over toes, and you can push yourself up. There you go. Good, Brendan. So, in a lot of cases, that little simple tip will work, but not in all. And what I mean by that is that if you really struggle getting out of your chair, let's take a look at your leg strength. And what we need to do is make sure you have strong legs. You'll hear me ad nauseum talk about leg strength is gold. All right?
That bottom left corner is Helene.
Okay.
So if you need to have her adjust her camera, you can talk to her.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Rose. All right. That's the boss. She keeps me in line. So a lot of cases, guys, that little trick will work, but if it doesn't, it's leg strength, all right? And so what we want to do is we want to make sure we do things to strengthen our legs every day. Think about this. It's just like this class in improving your balance. You can't do something once a week and expect to get better in it. Can you learn a foreign language by learning one word a week? I don't think so. You got to be immersed in it, right? And a lot of times people will tell you, you really need to move to the country, all right, to learn that language. So what I did was I put together a little list that we're going to go through of exercises that you can do when you watch TV. Raise your hand if you watch TV. Raise your hand if you sit more than you stand, right? Here's the deal. I want you guys, I'm going to challenge you. I want you to try to get 5,000 plus steps a day, all right? That's not hard to do. If you're not accustomed to walking, shoot for that goal. Some of you may reach that before noon. If you do, just double it. Let's try to get 10,000 steps, okay? That's going to put you somewhere around the 3 to 5 mile mark, all right? But when we stand, our body weight is affected by gravity. Well, what's between my torso and the ground? My legs, right? So even though we may not consider walking as exercise, it is. And I will encourage you to walk as much as possible because it's one of the best things you can do for your legs, all right? And it keeps you mobile. And that's what we want to do, strong, mobile, and independent for the rest of your life. First exercise, we're going to do this in class today. We're going to sit in slow motion. Every time how many of you sit multiple times a day? Man, I'm on fire. What I want you to do, nose over toes, and we're going to sit down, take 4 seconds. All right, we're going to do that one today so that we're really familiar and understand. That eccentric movement there, that slow movement on the way down stimulates tons of muscle tissue. I want to avoid the plop, right? Are you guys familiar with the plop? Try to avoid that plop. Every time you sit down at home, I want you to sit in slow motion. Next thing, let me just give you 2 exercises. Leg extensions. When you extend your legs out in front of you, pull your toes back, squeeze your quadriceps. All right? Nice and tall, core tight, back away from the chair. That's going to help stimulate those quads. It's going to make you stronger. Feet are going to go up together and down together, all right? British Journal of Sports Medicine just published a study, well, it was about a year ago, that stated it was a one-of-a-kind study from 30 years to 90 years were the subjects. If you can't stand or balance on one foot for 10 seconds or longer, your life expectancy is 10 years or less. We catch that? 1 foot, 10 seconds or longer. If you can't do that, life expectancy, 10 years or less. There's a correlation there, all right? Sometimes always causation is not correlation. It is here. So what we want to do is make sure that we improve our single leg balance. We do that by strengthening our legs. Strengthening our legs helps us get on and off a chair. Does that make sense? You guys look excited this morning.
Very.
Let's get going, man. Let's go. Rock and roll. Let me have you stand. We're going to move behind your chairs.